Ito na. Falcons laban sa Vitality. Ano kayang mangyayari dito? Nilabas na si Fanny. Fanny ni Kyle.
Yep, the mid lane matchup is something we're all watching out for, but just the same, I am so excited to see Kyle back on a Fanny all over again. He made a name for himself because of these kinds of heroes, and now Vitality will have to deal with this. And again, Trex did point out, most of their crowd control and potential lockdowns are just going to be on Finn.
Yeah, it really is going to be. And I think the important thing right now is whether or not those arrows not only are going to hit, but how you set them up. Because I think that Finn has such a difficult job, right? Not only is he looking for these big engages, he has to play off of the information from Nile and Shogun. But the hard part is catching this Fanny half the time.
Yeah, because like you're torn between catching the Fanny or also going for a backline play, because we see Badangs do that oftentimes, but that's more so when you get to the late game. It's depending on we get there, because I feel like both teams just really want to get that early and end this fast.
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget about the potential anti-synergy, right? There could be moments where Finn accident. Oh, hold on. Flap might be in some trouble here.
Fanny?
Oh no,
Lalim mo?
actually catches Kyle there. That is one
Nakakaba yung cable niya.
answer to the question
Nakakaba yung
that we
cable
posed
niya
earlier.
yun,
So
ha?
as long as he just gets to press the buttons in the right time.
But this comes at a cost, right? Because Moreno has to be preemptively already waiting with Finn to make these motions happen, allowing the mid lane to actually get shoved in pretty quickly. Now, I mean, Moreno, he doesn't care about level 4. Level 4 or not, it's not the biggest deal in the world. He hits that arrow, it's kind of game over for whoever. But even Iman recognizes that you got to be scared of Kyle. You take a bad trade, you could just die out of nowhere.
Yeah, Vitality are so good with these anticipations against Team Falcons and their rotations, and so far they're the ones actually going to take
Nakuha
this
na
turtle
agad
for
yung
themselves.
turtle.
We saw
Parang
multiple rotations from Falcons already, but every single one of them have been answered so far.
They have been, and I think the best part about it all is the fact that Vitality are playing super responsive to how Falcons are moving across the map. As soon as Kyle showed up bot side, they set up for the instant turtle take. They cannot waste any little bit of time here. They also have to be, just as careful to not put themselves in compromised positions. Top side, you really see that Shogun try to cut the wave, but notices Fanny is around, backs up to try and set up for Nile right here, because he's just too thick.
The moment Nile showed up, Falcons could just not commit anymore. Every single time, it seems like Vitality are just always prepared. They're not in any way taken by surprise by the presence of a Fanny. And it's something that they probably willingly played into, but that's
Fanny. Fanny God, tinamaan ng pana. Nice one. Nice one. Marunong na magdirot si Flap. Nice.
About when Dyrot's ult actually finishes the channel. Yes, there's a bit of a channel time. He could have just pushed himself out of there, but wanted, hey, no abilities, I gotta just try and punt somebody backwards as best as he can. This is what we should expect, right? Falcons need to win this early stage of the game to get Kyle that advantage that we're hoping for, and it's not like the Ling. He's very dependent on that purple buff and can only do so much. It's not like you can just go back into your jungle and charge it all back up and farm extra fast. It's all about, hey, I go in, if I don't have that purple buff, I have to recall, do it all over again.
Yeah, it's great adjustment too, I think, because they could not find the sides. They've been trying to, but they couldn't really get the sides. It's always been either Finn intercepting or even Moreno and Nile, so they just settled with Finn, who at the time was isolated from the rest, just trying to check wherever Falcons were trying to go for next. And I think it's a great answer. They finally found a way to at least get a slight advantage, though the gold lead is very insignificant at this point, honestly.
And honestly, a really difficult comp to pull off. I mean, I'm thinking about how Moreno needs to kind of keep up with everybody.
Tinamaan ng pana.
Wait, hold on.
Wala.
He's
Uy!
gonna get chunked down to 50%.
Wala.
Now,
Dumaan lang.
this might be a harder
Grabe naman
contest. They do have a bit of a regenerate for Flap, so he's gonna top himself back up here, but I think the real question is whether or not he gets caught when he tries to shred down that front line, right? Whether it's front line or back line, that shred is only good for Kyle and Super Marco.
Whoa, Finn, are they actually gonna go
Ayan na,
for
Fanny.
right after response?
Wala,
They
hindi
catch
nakagalaw.
two, and now Nile is
Naku
gonna go
po.
down
Ay,
alongside
yes.
Finn.
Nice.
Falcons actually take
Lamang
two
sila.
and will win that trade
Lamang Falcon.
instead. This
Tinamaan ng pana.
Vitality
Wala lang.
being the first ones to set it
Nice.
up.
Turtle.
He's just
Nice.
blocking the shots. He's
Nice.
making sure that the softer members on his side don't have to worry about some tough angles that are being set up by Moreno. Is this a potential punish? No, he should be able to get out.
Oh.
Blazing do it, used to, but even so,
Grabe ka
Moreno
naman,
gets to
Super
capture way to
Marco.
safety. Shogun will try to block the rest of the members of
Pana?
Falcons, but
Wala,
they're
wala,
not
wala
gonna
yan.
force it anymore. Still, though, it's a
Hindi gagana yung pana mo sa
free
Pinoy.
hands. Oh,
Oh.
maybe a
Wala.
3-0 lead with
Kalma lang.
1.4k, but we're not seeing structural damage. We haven't seen. Oh, speaking of structural damage, Flap, first person there to actually open up, and surprisingly enough, he's the one who actually unlocks his lane first, which is great for him. But what does that mean for the rest of Falcons? Does that mean that he gets to walk around for free? I want to see how they utilize his Dara, because we didn't get to see a great showing the day before.
Yes, I agree. It was on a not so okay KDA, I think, if you look at it from the previous performance, but I think this is a much better spot for Flap now. He's clearly winning the lane, already taking that tier 1 up top, and the fact that he was also able to be active in the first few skirmishes and even pick up kills too, I think grants him a much bigger advantage to serve as a threat against Vitality, who at this point have mostly been responding and answering back to Falcon's rotations, but we're not seeing any of their own just yet. Or maybe it's also, in a way, an effect of having very slow clearing mid duos in the form of a Selena
Funny,
and Madame.
funny, 2v1. Oh, lusaw! Nice one, 2v1! Walang nag-was, funny! Wow! Oh, tinarget. Oh, inesisal. Oh, lusaw! Lusaw! Go, go! Wala na, back na. Okay na yan, okay na yan. Push. Ganda. Grabe mag-funny. 0-6, oh. Yan ba yung champion ng MPL? Ay, de.
Dirty outplay. Dodges the immobilize, waited the iframes out, even dodging.
Oh, mga bobo.
Just like, nah, just another day in the office, try harder next time. And Vitality, they will oblige here because they're starting to siege this turtle. They want to make sure they have control, but more importantly, they're waiting for Kyle. They know he's around.
Yep, he's gonna take this first. Abyssal arrows are not connecting just yet, but at least you also see Emma taking part in this fight. Nile will yet to have to reveal himself, because Falcons are taking pretty good control of this. Vitality will change targets, though. They're just going to go for Super Marco, but he still has the Purify! Moreno finally gets the kill, but he might just go down too. That's a 1-for-1 so far, and Falcons are chasing after Finn, but they might not be able to find him anymore.
It's not bad. Honestly, trading gold laner
Bakit
for mid
mukhang
laner,
prangko yung
considering that
Baylor?
Moreno, really, he's not the one who wants to be able to absorb all this gold. It's Nile and alongside with Iman. So as long as these two are able to scale back up, it's great. But Finn might be in some trouble here. They don't want to contest this. This is not the position to fight for just yet, and Vitality understand that.
Yep, they kind of let go of this the moment that they went back after that kill towards Super Marco. He already also had to get his purple buff first, so Nile, I feel, is really doing a bit of catching up here in this game. He's already a level behind of Kyle here, and that's also probably one of the reasons why they just rather not contest an objective anymore, especially with Falcons just surrounding the area like that.
With the early game having to be played super defensively for the side of Vitality, it gives you very little opportunities to actually look for potential snowballs. And so far, I mean, Iman, he was doing a good job against Super Marco. Generally, both sides came out of the lane pretty even, but once all the reinforcements started heading down to that bottom side, it was inevitable that Super Marco was going to crack that bottom tier 1. From this point onwards, we're expecting that Falcons, they're going to get a little sly with it. They're starting to walk into enemy territory to steal away the resources, because dear God, Kyle, he's Batman at this point.
I would be afraid if I were Vitality and I was all alone, because I could just feel the presence of Kyle or maybe anyone from Falcons at this point just hunt me down with the amount of damage that they already have. And Vitality, I feel, is going to take a bit more time from them. Even if we say, let's say we say Emman part of the fights, he just lays down Doll, but other than that, you don't really sense much threat for
Uy,
Falcons. But now
naku po, nahuli. Naku po, nahuli si Pane.
kill that they definitely want.
Yep, that was the combo they were trying to
Nasolo.
pull off and got outplayed on that
Hindi,
top side.
nakagalaw si
This is the
Pane
clean
doon.
version of it, but they still don't get the conversion, unfortunately, on that turret, but they do slow down Kyle. Luckily, don't have to worry about the purple buff. It hasn't even spawned just yet, so Kyle doesn't lose too much in general.
Yeah, but it's just gonna open up more opportunities for Vitality. You could see how they're trying to push their sides a bit more this time, but a concealed
Hindi
play from
nakita.
Falcons.
Kaya
Just turn
habulin?
things around. They're trying
Kaya.
to go for the kills.
Kaya.
Look
Nice
how
one.
Archie sets that up
Kaya yan.
beautifully, but
Oh,
the Dryas doesn't
nice.
allow Nile to escape.
Kala ko
And
buti
they
na lang.
fall
Bawi lang.
all over again. Abyssal arrow
Bawi
on
lang.
top.
Nakabawi sila pero delikado.
Finish him off.
Oh, back na kaya?
Don't have it just yet.
No, they don't. Why Wow, that was an incredibly big mistake coming out from now, showing and in front of their faces,
Naglulord,
dashing.
naglulord.
You can't reveal those cooldowns this early on. Only later
Parang
in the
regen
game where it's
yata
not so
dapat.
bad,
Tinamaan ng
especially since
pana.
Falcons are really out to get it.
Bakonte,
Emma
bakonte,
actually
Lodi
doing a bit more
Bells.
damage now, but it's Falcons starting
Naubos
up
na
this
buhay
objective.
nyo.
They're bursting it down as much as they
Low
can.
life na
Absaro
kayo.
does not land. Who gets the final
Uranus,
hit on this
lakad-lakad lang.
objective? It's still
Nice
Kyle,
one.
but Flap might get
Okay,
traded out
tulungan
here.
niya yan.
Surprisingly, still
Kaya,
survived
oh,
out. This
tulong,
shot
oh.
Cancelled out. Close call for Emma, but now he has to flicker out to re-engage or to regroup with Team
Nang
Falcons.
kukulit, oh.
And Vitality
Bak na,
might go for the chase,
nice.
but they don't.
They didn't get the punish. They got the big cancels that they were looking for, but no conversions on either side. Even still, we know for a fact, hey, Falcons, Turtles, they're done for. Now we got to make sure that we can protect, because once we have to deal with this Iman,
Flap, so much damage, but he will go down relatively fast too. That's a less tankier XP lane that he currently is on, and I feel like Vitality will just constantly go for the punish every single time, every single opportunity they find.
Oh, I mean, they have to at this point, right? Can't give any options to their opponents. Super Marco now, sure looking for anything on across the map, and even for Kyle, he's just waiting, right? It's about a matter of information. Now should be okay here.
Another 1v1, but now you see Finn, Kyle.
Kalma
will
lang,
not fight
pani.
there anymore, as Vitality will still deal with the Lord for now and are forced to play defensive. They're about to lose more and more of their
pinana.
soldiers as well if they don't successfully get to defend this, but it's
Yun ang
barely
pani.
hanging on.
Honestly, this is great coming in for Vitality. Like everything
Parang
that
balik.
could have gone wrong in the early stages of the game didn't necessarily
Talo.
hurt as bad. They walk away with some scrapes, okay. And Niall is still very, very bold. He hasn't backed down at all. And with the Malefic Roar on his side now, he can start thinking about hitting some of the bigger targets.
Yeah, we're waiting if Vitality could pull off the combo all over again. So I think a lot of this is on Finn, and whether or not he actually finds that setup all over again, because you could already expect the damage to come through, especially from Nile, especially from Moreno, and even Eman, but Falcons are just too difficult to catch.
Yeah.
They have so much mobility.
Zipper, if you could pull up the items for me, that'd be great, because I'm wondering where Shogun is in his item progression. He needs to get to a point where he's so tanky that he's able to kind of take first position on the far lane rather than letting Kyle hard shove it every single time, because Vitality have to be relatively close to each
Pinana.
other to find these
Wala
intersecting
lang.
points in the mid lane in comparison to like Sin and Herrera top side, and now that at least that Niall and Kyle are somewhat even in the lane, it's a much harder 1v1 to win out.
Yeah, we gotta check those items later on. But even if Vitality do group up, okay, there you go. He does have the
Parang
anti-press and the
nahihirapan
regen
yung
armor
Falcons
already.
dito.
No Oracle. So
Guys,
again,
follow nyo nga ako.
1v2,
Subscribe
there's
na
no
kayo.
chance still dies out here.
Tapos,
Lightning
comment na rin kayo dyan, oh.
purchase, so
Uy,
he
ayos na.
deals with both arm-
Kaya habulin?
This could be bad unless Owen wants to flicker in. I don't see this
Pala.
happening. But that back here.
Oh, Kyle from the side though. That was close. Vitality really had to reposition themselves there, as Falcons just took the opportunity to get mid.
That was so beautiful. That was so beautiful. To the naked eye, it feels like nothing happened, but it was really Falcon positioning themselves and posturing, forcing the battle lines of Vitality. They don't want to expose their backs. They want the traditional front to back, but Kyle has so much of that pull. If Iman dies, this entire fight goes down the drain.
Yep. And now they take that mid turret just as the Lord spawns. So imagine the space that they could really play around with. Vitality feels very uncomfortable with just freely positioning themselves. They have no idea Haji's in this position either. And you mentioned something about Vitality grouping up and using it to an advantage, but they have to be careful of Haji. Haji's been stealing away that ultimate from the Badang, and that could be something to punish Vitality later on.
Wow, both of these guys, it's whoever shows up in the lane first, and Hirara shows, and guess what Falcons is gonna do? Instantly take that space. If Vitality are forced to move backwards, they know for a fact they gotta clean up these lanes, but Niall, he's not wasting any time. He sets up the slow push and now is running back to try and collapse upon him.
Pinani. Naku, parang mas konti buhay nila. Naku po! Low life sila, Lodi! Kaya? Boy! Funny! Habol! Naku po! Back na, Lodi! Oh, naku, nauntog pa!
That's exactly what you want to see. It's all about Iman here. Wait.
Kaya? Kaya umabol? Oh, yun na! Naubo! Oh, tinamaan! Oh, my! Oh! Sayang, grabe yung badang doon. Grabe si Lodi Badang. Oh my gulay! Yun lang. Doon natalo. MPL champion nga to. Grabe yung pagkakas, ano nung badang saktong-sakto.
Timed arrow mid-air and even Finn.
Ang lala.
Look at this one more time, right? This big old fight happens. Everybody's going crazy with it. Ogwin, really the game changer with the Wrath of the Dryads. But later on into this fight, that intersection.
Swak na swak
for it.
naman
Where's
yun,
the arrow?
Lode.
He hits it, and then it all
Ganda na
goes
sana ng
down.
pasok niya doon. Superhero na eh.
And this 1-1-1-2.
So good. That was so crazy. Finn should be happy with that. Finn should be happy that
Walang mga bobo.
mistakes, but now it really just comes down to execution, and that's
Walang
the truth
gumanon.
of it, right?
Bad trip
And
naman.
Vitality both have a really
Mga
good
masasama
understanding
talaga
of
Pinoy.
how both compositions can kind of dance around each other. But that dancing gives more advantages to Falcon for the raw firepower Vitality.
Oh, they find another
Oh
arrow.
my
It's gonna be
god,
fine.
talaga.
Not that
Walang
damage.
damage si Pane.
Actually, the one who falls out first.
Walang, ayun ang damage. Kaya lang. Oh, oh, oh.
The
Intercom.
iframes from Nile keep him safe too. It's only
Pane,
the
mahanap.
fighting
Wala si
fighting
Pane.
1-for-1.
Nakauwi si Aling Pane.
And we are seeing that they are fighting tooth and nail. Ogwin should
Naku,
go down
naubos
here.
ang buhay ni
Not get away
Kuya
from that. Like,
Mo.
but that's responsible.
Ha? Kalma lang. Back na.
They couldn't go for the committed
Wala
advantage.
na. Naubos ang damage nila, Lode.
Still has the ultimate from the Badang.
Grabe.
Vitality are gonna play it safe.
They gotta
Oh.
breathe. They gotta breathe
Oh.
for just a moment. Kyle,
Oh,
he can still
pumapani.
deal with these waves on the side.
Kaya?
It's just that main Lord force
Oh
that they
my
can't really deal with.
God,
And
hindi
Super
sila
Marco will
makadip.
try his absolute best, but they're saying, you know what?
Grabe,
We can't
T.
hold on to this. Let's give up this inhibitor. Yes, the
Pwede.
long
Kaya
run
pa
is
yan,
not gonna
kaya
be
pa
in our
yan.
favor, but we've got
Pa-item
Kyle
lang.
to deal with that
Wala nang
consistently.
purple tong Pani.
Picked up by Kyle here.
Ang
It's
hirap
like he
na.
was forced to almost adjust his items just because of how good Emma's been positioning himself onto Melissa as well. Every single time he uses the go away, it's just so perfectly timed.
It's ridiculous, and I think this is super understandable, right? Why multiple people need to get the chastised pauldron. With the extended range, thanks to muddles, sometimes you're not in that range to actually get the the attack speed reduction. At this point, you got to be able to hit the right targets at the right time, and as much as everybody needs to slow it down, it does eventually come to start biting you in the butt. I think that Iman has been playing perfectly so far, but I think this chastised pauldron from Kyle, he needs it just to go in, force to get away from Iman, heal back up, and return to the fight.
Yeah, and that's something they can do. It's a Fanny, so you could just expect them to get into fight fast. With Vitality, they've been holding this out really, really well. Finn gets to spot out a couple members from Falcons all over again. They're fighting for this
Maagaw,
purple,
maagaw
but
ba
they
yung
don't wanna hand it over to
purple?
Kyle. But Owen, will he be the sacrifice?
Oo,
Another off-
tinamaan ng Pana.
He actually
Hinuli.
gets the
Oh
kill
my
from Super Marco.
God, what are these angles? The Maestro finds it once more, building up to this big piece.
Pwede ba wag naibigay yung si Lina kay Moreno?
Man, what a turnaround.
Hero niya yan
With
eh.
such a good early game from the Falcons. Vitality have been playing
Malakas
some
siya dyan eh,
incredible
di ba?
defense. Now, seeing them
Ako lang
on
ba
the
nakakaalam
attack,
nun?
It's a pretty difficult game for either side. A single mistake could predetermine who wins and who loses. We're already 18 minutes into this game. The next Lord has spawned. Keep in mind, this Lord is vital. It's going to be walking around with some extra
Oh, tinamaan
damage
yun, ah.
reduction.
Owen goes for the concealed play because they spot Nile up top, but they're not able to get anything out of it. Nile's just going to really
Oh
get
my,
away
ang
and
sakit
now
na.
transition to the Lord.
Wala na.
They might just go first this
Pwede ba
time.
palitan na yung hero ni Plap?
Down. Let's see if the steal can happen. Here comes
Naku.
He's thinking about it.
Okay, the
Naku
go-away
ka.
is still...
Ang sayang.
Secures the retribution. Falcons wanna go
Pana!
chase the goal.
Di naman, grabe mga pana nito ni Lodi.
Kyle, do they have
Pana, oh my. Grabe yung pana. Oh my god. Kaya.
back with the blazing
Super Marco yan, oh.
They actually get
Oh.
kills.
Bakunti, Lodi. Wala na.
Trying to go even further than this is Ogwin.
Back.
He's into the damage finally. But look at that top
Bak.
side.
Nakita ako po. May nakaabang na kay Lodi.
Was the only one left here, but he
Tapos
couldn't do
na.
anything about it. Alone
Tapos. Grabe.
Nile. Team Vitality win game.
Oh my god.